Hello, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon. So thank you for joining today. We're going just to wait a few more minutes and we are going to get started. But thank you and welcome. And if you could to say, where are you joining from on the chat, that would be great. So while we wait for more people to join, could you please do that? Thank you. Oh, no way. So can you try the Q&A? Let me see if I can check the chat. Okay. Austin, Texas, Toronto, Ontario, Mexico, Honduras, nice. Canada, Quebec, cool. So I'm in Sweden, by the way. So Singapore, oh, that's cool. So we have people from all over the world. That's awesome. All right, so I think it's 4. Yes, so to respect everybody's time, let's get started. Just a quick look again. Spain, Chile, Netherlands. Awesome. Thank you so much for letting us know where you're coming, joining this webinar. So again, welcome to today's webinar. We are very happy to share this product service with you. And before we get started, just some things. Oop, go behind. So the webinar is being recorded. So don't worry if you need to go somewhere else, if you cannot watch the whole webinar, it's going to be recorded and we're going to share with you the link to the recording tomorrow. And besides the link to the recording, you will get a PDF with all the summary of this webinar, all important links. So you have all the information there. And so if you have any questions now for the webinar, please use the Q&A or the chat. And also, as you know, we're going to give away a school plan, a free trial. So for 3 winners that attended live. And we're going to contact you by email. So after the webinar, we're going to check who came live. And then we're going just to pick randomly 3 winners, all right? So we're going to let you know who were the winners, so great. And this is what we're going to do today. So of course, we will talk about what is the Arduino Cloud for Education. We will talk how the cloud can help you, teachers, and also your students. I will show you some demos, and I will also launch a poll because we want to know what do you think about what we're going to show you, if you feel that it's useful for you and your students, and then we can move on to the Q&A, all right? So, but again, at any time, just please feel free to write on the Q&A if you have any question. So if you're ready, let's go. So what is the Arduino Cloud for Education? So the Arduino Cloud for Education is a space, it's a platform where learning is always available because it's on the cloud, so it's available anytime from any device. And it's just this one place, an environment to help teachers to implement coding, IoT, AI, or also STEM learning. So, you know, these past years, it was a broad and profound change in education, like a disrupt for education system. And there are so many, because of that, there were many tools on the internet, you know, many resources, great resources, but then it's hard to choose, like what research to choose, or this tool is amazing, but what if I could also have this or that? So that's exactly what we want to do with the cloud. In one space, try to have all of these great tools, great resources, documentation, and also management system. So you have everything in one place and make your life easier. That's what we want to do with the Arduino Cloud for Education. So what are we offering, what you can find on the cloud? So first of all, of course, the cloud is always up to date. You don't need to do any maintenance or anything. We have some applications and software that you can do coding with hardware. You can also build connected projects with IoT. If you are using Google Classroom, you can connect also with Google Classroom. We have an integration on the cloud. It's compatible with Chromebooks. And you will also have access on the cloud to lessons, activities, tutorials, documentation, etc. And also you have this management tool that I was talking about. So on the cloud, you have also a space where you can invite your students to join the cloud so they can see and benefit from all of the resources there. You can see how many students are there, you can delete students, etc. So I will show you this into detail. But then let's take a quick look of the cloud so you know how it looks like. And then we go back and I will show you in detail how every section of the cloud. So this is how the cloud looks like. So we have our apps, IoT Cloud, web editor, we have our resources here, bunch of resources for you, the forum, help center, documentation. And this is a section for the members. So as you can see, everything is in one space, which is super convenient. So this is then how the cloud looks like. I will go back to the slides, but then I will show you more in detail everything, right? But I just want you to have a quick look at it. So how can the cloud help you as an educator, a teacher, and your students? So we know that many of you are teaching coding and hardware. And I am sure, like maybe all of you know the classic Arduino IDE, the desktop version. So you know that to start using the software and start prototyping and programming your board, first you need to go to our website and download the IDE. So you need installation. Then you need to install some libraries to make your life easier. And then you need, when you write your code and then you want to upload your code to your board, you need to make sure that you select your port and your board. But then sometimes the IDE will ask you to update some libraries. So you need to click, update, and wait for the libraries or the course to install. And also, as I was mentioning you, when you work with the classic IDE, the desktop version, you need to make sure every time that you have connected the right board and the right tool. So if I am working with the Arduino Maker 1010, but the next time I want to work with the Arduino Uno, then the IDE doesn't switch. So you need to do it manually. So that could be a little bit problematic, especially if your students are just beginning to working with software and code. And also, and one of the most important things is like there is no option or tool to share sketches. What you need to do is like copy, paste, send it on an email, and then the other person will see it, maybe again, paste it. So it's not very efficient, it's very hard. But that's why we have the web editor on the cloud. So the thing is with the web editor, your students can code directly from any browser. You have unlimited sketch storage, but also you can share your code via link. So thanks to that, the collaboration is easier, connect with your students or with other teachers, it's easier. Also, it helps you with troubleshooting because then everyone is seeing the same sketch. So it's easier to find a solution when something is not working. And because of that, it's also encouraging for students to discuss about what is not working and find a solution together. And of course, this saves you time. The editor is always up to date. So you don't need, as on the classic IDE, to download libraries, everything is there. And also when you connect your board to the web editor, it automatically recognizes what the board are you using and the port. So that also it's very good. So no maintenance, no update, and this makes work more efficient. You don't need to stop and just check these things, and of course saves you time. And another important feature that is very cool is that you can attach media to the products to your projects on the web editor. We know that you as a teacher want for your students to write some documentation about your project, right? So you have the possibility to add media to the projects, like some pictures, schematics, etc. So that makes or that enhances the project documentation for the students and also facilitate grading for you because all the documentation is in one space, which is very useful. And also, if, as I mentioned before, if you just start teaching coding, you don't have many experience, you will also find built-in examples and reference on the web editor. So this will help you to get started very quickly, right? So these are some of the advantages of using the web editor. So let's take a look. So I'm going to the cloud, and then from the cloud, I am jumping to my web editor, which is here. I can just go straight to my web editor and see all my sketches, or I can go to the quick start. So I will go to my web editor. So as you can see, I already have connected a board. And here I don't need to say connect this board and this board. I just connected, and then the Arduino web editor tells me you are using a Maker 1010 board and it's connected to this board. So I didn't have to do anything. So here are my sketchbook. Here are the examples that I mentioned in you. So we have built-in examples. I will just open one and show you. So if you want for your students to start easy, to get started easy, and if you don't have too much time to make examples, you can take one of these. I'm going to take this one. So automatically, the editor opens me the sketch and some of the other tabs. So here, of course, is the code. And then here I have a description of what this sketch is going to do. Push a button controlling an LED. And then the cool thing is what I show you, that you can have media on the web editor. So here the students can see the circuit, how to build the circuit of this sketch. And also, if you want them to also learn how this schematic looks like, then you have the schematic also here. So then the only thing you need to do is click here and say share sketch. And then you make it public. You click this link, copy link, and then you share with your students. So I will show you how the students will get just copy paste here. So you can see how they see when you share the sketch. So this is the view. It's a bit different. So as you can see, all the information, the code, the description, the layout, and the schematic are here. So when they click add to my sketch, then of course you will see, okay, save it. And then they will go to the web editor and have it here. They can modify it, they can change, they can do whatever. So it's a very good way to get started if you don't have much time to prepare exercises or you're starting with programming. Another cool thing is the references here. So if you click on any function, you will click here and then you will see all the description information and also an example of the code, which is again, very useful. And let's say that you want your students or your students have an assignment and you want them to write the code and you want them to attach also the layout. So I have some here ready. So just let's say that you ask them to build a keyboard. So they write the code. Here you will see the name of each of the students and the sketch. And then I can start adding tabs. So probably I can say documentation, for instance, oops. All right. And then they can write here, this project is blah, 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 whatever they want. So then I want to import the picture of my project, schematic, Fritzing, Tinkercad. It supports JPEG and PNG. So let's see that they have either the Fritzing or the Tinkercad file, or they took a picture, doesn't matter. So I open it and then it's there. So awesome. And they can add as many tabs with sketches or whatever media they want to insert. And the only thing they need to do is save it and then send it to you. And then, as you can see, as I showed you before, you will receive the sketch, the documentation, the media in one place. which is super useful, right? So this is then what you can do. Of course, you can do more things with the editor, but this is a part of sharing, which is very useful also for you. If you want to provide feedback, for example, you can add it here on the comments of the same sketch. Here you can add comments, for example, like say, hey, take a look at this, take a look at that. Or you can also add a tab, for example, and name it feedback. Okay. And then here you say, check line 34. So then it's very easy for you and for them to check. You're not telling them what is the mistake, but then it's something easier for them to check, okay, this is wrong, then I need to correct that. Again, share the sketch. No need to download, copy, paste. So it's super efficient, right? So this is the Arduino editor. So I'm going to close it and I'm going to go back to the slides. I'm going to close that too. All right. So Google Classroom. Many of you, I guess, you start using Google Classroom when you have online lessons and classes. So now with the Arduino Cloud, there's an integration with Google Classroom. So what you can do now is enrich all of the benefits that you have with Google Classroom, but with the code and with connected devices, with the dashboard, with everything you can do in the Arduino Cloud, you can have it in Google Classroom. So now you can plan, create assignments, share lessons, and also sketches with your students and other colleagues. So then what you can do is you can be better organized, and also very important, you can keep track of the progress of your students. So then because you can have track of your progress of your students, you can see how they are doing. So you can get, maybe this student is not doing very well, maybe, or he's doing great. So then you have the possibility to personalize learning, the learning experiences, and how you want for a student to give more practice. So as you know, on Google Classroom, you can share with all the group or just one student. We will take a look. And also because you can attach media to the web editor, as I showed you before, project description, etc., then it will be easier for you to grade all of this. So either you can use the share sketches on the web editor, or you can take that a step further and use Google Classroom. So let's take a look on the cloud, how the integration is. So I have it here, Google Classroom integration. So I'm going to my editor, and then let's see if I save the last example that I show you. Okay, it's here. So instead of just sharing the link, you can come here and say, share to Google Classroom. And then the web editor tell you, and you say, okay, share to Google Classroom. I already have a class created on Google Classroom, and then you can choose an action. So I will say, create an assignment, and then I click on go. So here you can, I just added whatever task, but you can add whatever task you want your students to do with the code. So then, as I told you before, you can assign to a specific student or to all your students, to all or just one or two. You can also schedule the tasks so they have a deadline or not, whatever you want to do. And then you say, I want to send the task to all my students, and then I assign the task. And I'm just going to view the task that I just created. So it's here, right? So then you can check your classwork, you can check your people and your students, and also you can grade. So then if you are not using Google Classroom, probably you can start using it because it's easier for you to do a lot of things, stay organized and then track progress, especially when you're teaching code. It's hard to grade, right? Like where can I put all this, the code? So with the web editor, you can do it. But again, if you want to take a step further, you can do it with the Google Classroom because it's so easy to do it now. I create an assignment like in 2 minutes. So then I just need to wait for my students to answer that assignment, and then I start grading. So again, this will help you to stay more organized and also to track your students' progress. And then if you see that a student is struggling a little bit, then you can assign more exercise with that student, or maybe add more resources, etc. So you can do a lot of things, right? So this is very good. And I just want to show you a bit more. You can even add more media to your assignment. So you can record yourself, maybe doing like a circuit or something, and you can just post that for your students to have more information or to have a guide on how to prototype. So you can add a lot of things. So it's super, super useful. And now it's integrated with the Arduino Cloud. So I'm going to close my class and the web editor to the cloud, and I am going back to the classroom. So let me check if we have some Q&A. I don't think, right, we have a bit of questions. Okay, they're asking me for some lessons, and I will just go for that in some minutes. So let's go. If someone asked about it can be used in Teams. Okay, I will address that in a bit. So the next thing is connected devices or IoT. So on the platform, as you saw, we have a platform also for IoT, Internet of Things, where your students can create, deploy, and monitor connected devices. So start working with the IoT is very easy. So you need to configure a device, but it takes like 1-2 minutes. And then when you connect your project, some sensors, and then you can start collecting data. What you can do also on the platform is create, customize, and share dashboards so the students can see the data. So then it's easier then for students to see the data, to understand the data, to analyze data. And with this, there are so many benefits. So this, when everybody's seeing data, when you make data like visible for your students, when they can monitor it over time, and when they can share this data, so you encourage discussion. Okay, we're seeing this, and then collaborate, because then they're seeing that something is happening, they can recognize a pattern. So you encourage collaboration, but also critical thinking, because then if you see some data coming from a sensor, for example, gas sensor, and they are seeing that in whatever place the pollution is too high, how we can find a solution to that with this data that we are seeing, with this data that we are analyzing. So then can drive them to be innovative and solve problems. So if you are not only teaching IoT, but if you are teaching science, if you are teaching innovation of problem solving, you can use technology to make that easier for your students. But also we know that not everyone, again, is, or many people, or many teachers or students are starting to work with technology. So we have templates to help you to start building and experimenting super fast. We also have tutorials, examples, and documentations. And when you start building your project, the cloud also helps you by writing some lines of code. We're going to see that. So it's even easier. And also, as I mentioned before, you can, when you add some or start configuring your project on the IoT, the cloud will give you some lines of code to help you. But then for the most experienced also, they can add more code and make it their own. So this is, we have low threshold and high ceiling, so you can go from 0 to 100. And also, when you use the templates, you get like this, the students, you get them easily to the rewarding part of being something built fast and working. So everyone can innovate. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or you have more experience. So then we have templates for anyone to want to start easier, or you can modify, or you can start from zero, build your project. It doesn't matter. And before I show you the IoT platform, this is the way you start. We have 5 steps. First, on the cloud, I'm going to show you, don't worry. First, you create a thing. The thing is the project, or is what it holds, or your configuration. Then you tell the cloud, I'm going to use this device, which is your board. And then you start adding variables. The variables are the properties that you think is going to have and what you want to measure. So I want to monitor or to measure temperature, humidity, pressure, luminance, etc. Then when you define this, the IoT start like writing or producing the code, some part of the code for you. Then you configure your network so the cloud can connect to the Wi-Fi. And the last thing is that you can build your own dashboards, as I mentioned in you before. Depend on what you want to monitor. You can choose from a wider range of widgets that we have, and you can customize it. You can make it your own, and then you can start monitoring data very easy. And again, if you want to, the cloud gives you a part of the code when you make this configuration, and you can just upload the code and start monitoring things, data. But if you want to make it your own or try something different, you can always add more code. So someone was asking if we have lessons or more resources. Apart from the resources and documentation we have on the cloud that I just showed you very fast, we have a kit called the Explore IoT Kit. So this kit helps you to implement IoT or connected devices faster and easier because it comes with lessons, projects, tips for teachers, more support, and all the hardware is included. So if you see the picture here, that's a picture of the Explore IoT Kit. It comes with some sensors, a board, a carrier which has a lot of sensors. So when you buy this kit, you get access to all the lessons that it's online. So you can implement this with your students easily, step by step, because you have the program and some lessons. But if you don't have the kit, or you are just used to work with boards, you already have some boards and want to start connected devices, this is a hardware. This is a hardware that it's compatible with the Arduino IoT platform. So we have the Maker family, we have the Nanos, we have the Portenta and the Niclavision, which are boards more for the industry, but these are so far the hardware that is the Arduino boards that are compatible with the cloud. But also you can use the IoT with other third-party devices, which are these. So when you go to the cloud, to the IoT platform and want to configure your hardware, the cloud will ask you, do you have an Arduino board or do you have a third-party board? And then it's like the picture I have there. All right. So you can then either go for the IoT Explore IoT Kit or use your own hardware to start working or connecting devices. So let's go to the fun part, which is how you can set up or how do you do the setup to start working with the connected devices. So again, I go to my cloud, and then I will go to my IoT cloud or platform. This is the IoT platform. So if you remember the graphic that I show you, we have things, the dashboard, and devices. Devices are all the boards that you are going to connect. Dashboard is where you are going to build or use widgets to monitor your data. So I said that the first thing you need to do is to create your thing, which is going to hold all your project. So I create my thing. And then you name it. I'm going to name it test. And then we said that we are going to add to that thing some properties or variables, what I want to measure. So I'm going to click variable. Let's say that I want to measure the humidity. So I write the name. And then the cloud gives you different data types to choose from. So if I want to measure humidity, I want decimals. So then I want to use floating. If you are not sure what are all of these, you have here an examples of what this means. So floating point number, example 155, so decimal. So this is perfect, that's what I want. Then the cloud will ask you, variable permission, what is that? If I want to read and write or only read. So if you click here on this icon, it explains the difference between read and write or read only. So I want only to write the humidity, so I write read only. And then how much time or how can I know that, or if like the data is changing? So you can tell it when it changes or periodically, so you can choose. So I'm going to say periodically, every 2 seconds, I want to see how the data it's changing, or the humidity in this case, and then add variable. All right. So then I will add another variable that I am going to call temperature. And I do the same thing. I want a floating point number because I want the temperature in decimals. Click here, read only. And for this one, I will say on change. So when the temperature change, I want to see the data. And then I add it. Oops. And if you can see here, sketch, I just created the thing and add some variables. And then the cloud already generate part of the code. So super useful. So I'm going back to my setup. And then I'm going to associate my device, which is the board that I want to use. So I click on select device. So I already have some devices, but I am going to tell my cloud that I want a new device for this. So it asks me, do you have an Arduino device or you have a third-party device? I will say I have an Arduino device. But if you want to see the third-party device, then you click on that, and then you will see a list of all the devices you can have, or the compatible devices that you can have with the Arduino IoT platform. So while this is getting ready, let me try again. Let's see some questions on the Q&A or on the chat. Let me refresh. Okay, so I am getting some questions about languages. So all the Arduino IoT platform or the cloud is in English, but the Explore IoT kit that I show you, that it's localized in German, because it was someone in Germany that asked me that. All right, let me see. Waiting for my device. Okay, then it found it. So it tells me you are using a Maker Wi-Fi 1010 board. Yes. Then the cloud suggests a name. If you don't want it, you change it. But I will call it I'll soon. Or you can change Genie. Let's say Genie. Next. So then now, also the Arduino cloud is very secure because this board, for example, or the boards that are compatible with the cloud have a crypto chip. So the all communication with the cloud is safe. And the data that students and you as teachers get is yours. Okay, so it's no problem with that. So the cloud is doing like the handshake with my board and we are ready. So I say done. Perfect. And then the last thing I want to do is configure my network. So the cloud knows to what network it has to connect. So I am just copy pasting the name of my Wi-Fi and then the password. And I am just copy paste the password. And I'm going to say safe. All right. So every time I do something different, the cloud again here, add some line of code for me, okay? And the last thing is create a dashboard. So I can see like the data coming from my device. So I'm going to go to dashboards and I will create a dashboard. And I will just again name my dashboard so I know what I am going to monitor. So I think I call test. So I will call test dashboard for whatever name you want to name it. So then I am measuring temperature and humidity. So if you click add, you will see a list of widgets that you can use. So for example, for humidity, I'm going to use percentage, and then I'm going to say, okay, this will measure my humidity. And another thing very important is if you have more projects or other devices, you always need to link your variable to your thing. This is what I'm going to do. So link. So I say test with Genie, which is my thing that is holding my experiment. And then I say, you're going to link this widget with humidity, and I say link, call. So then the other thing that I want to do is save it, done. And then I want to add the other because I am also want to measure temperature. So I add, and then I use the gauge. And then this will be called temperature. And I'm going to link it to my thing because I have many. So then I say, my thing it's called test, and my board is Genie, and now I'm going to link it to the temperature, link variable, and then done. So those are the steps. Well, and of course, the last thing you need to do is upload your code, right? So you can come here. Here, you can test, verify, and upload your code, all right? And that's the only thing you need to do when you are working with the IoT. There's always this kind of steps you need to follow when you start to work with connected devices, okay? So let me see if I can show you. So this is a dashboard that I built before. For this experiment, I am using the IoT carrier, which is the one that comes with the Explore IoT kit. So this is a device that have also some sensors here that helps teachers and students to connect things faster. So this is what I have now. And as you can see, I will put my finger here because here are the sensors. So you will start seeing the changes live in the temperature and the humidity. So I have 33% humidity, 22 degrees almost. And also then I added some graphs to see it in a different way. And in this way, you can check how data behaves over time. So now I'm monitoring this live. So if I took my finger, maybe the humidity and the temperature will drop a bit. Okay, yeah, 37, so start dropping, and you can also see on the graphs, okay? So with these 5 simple steps, you can start monitoring data with the IoT platform. And then if you want, you can monitor this as long as you want, and then you can download your data, for example, all of these at CSV, yes. So get data, then you will get it on your email as CSV, and you can then check, analyze, and see what was the trend of your data. And also, you can share this dashboard with your students. The only thing you need to have here is the email of the user or the person you want to share the dashboard with, or copy here the link and share with that person. And then that person can also see from their own cloud this dashboard. So if I send it I have one of my colleagues here. One of them is in China and the other one is in Estonia. If I send to them this dashboard, they can see this. And if they have a project also there, they can also monitor and see the project like from the remotely, you know? So it's very well. That is what I said, that this way, when students can see things, you can promote collaboration and think, okay, what are we seeing? What are we going to do? How can we solve whatever problem? All right, so then this is how the cloud works, and at any time you can add more widgets, you can delete, you can modify. If I click in this pencil, I can edit at any time, duplicate, delete, whatever I want. If I click on arrange widgets, I can do this. If I don't want to have them there, I can change. Okay, so you have this at any time and you can share it. So I will let this here. Another thing that I told you is that, yes, but I don't know any of this. How can I start in an easier way? You have templates. So you can choose whatever template. I'm going to click on this one. And then the only thing you need to do, of course, you will read here the information about what this template is going to do, what I need, and then you import the template. Next, and then you need to connect a board. And then what the cloud is going to do, it's exactly what I just did. It will give for you the sketch. Here, everything, the dashboard, everything. So the only thing you will do is monitor the data. Okay, so it's like this. The cloud gives you everything. The only thing you need to do is to follow 3 steps, and then you can start with the templates. So again, if you don't have too much experience or what you're teaching is not necessarily focusing on, oh, they need to learn code, you can use the templates, because this way is it's a different way to see information, right? And it will be more engaging for students. Okay, so this was the IoT platform. And again, you can start from very simple things to more complex things. I go back to my slides. And then the last part I want to show you that you can get on the Arduino cloud are the resources. So here we have getting started guides, documentation, tutorials. There is a forum. We have Project Hub, which is a great platform for inspiration. All of them in Project Hub is curated. You will see the list of materials, code, examples, everything is there. If you need more inspiration, if you need more examples, it's there. And we have our help center. These documents are living documents. So every time our users send us an email saying this is not working or I have this issue, our support team is continuously updating these documents. So you will find all the latest information there, and it's almost 100% sure that what the issue you have, you will find the solution there. So bunch of resources there. Okay, so another thing I want to show you that is available on the cloud, it's something called School Shared Space. What is that? So a shared space is like a place where all the members of, or all the people that you invite to the cloud will benefit of the plan that you have. So all the people that I invite, teachers, students, will get access to the same thing that I get access in my plan, you know? So as I show you, if you as a teacher have access to all the features that I just show you, then you can invite your students to join to that space. Let's see how we do that. So I already have my cloud open, but it doesn't matter. So I go to my cloud, and then I have these courses. I have my Explore IoT kit, which is the kit that I showed you before here. So if I invite my students, the students that I invite will have access to the kit. If I don't have a kit, it doesn't matter. All the people that I invite will get access to the features that I have on my cloud, okay? So how I invite others. Here on the left, it says your space members. I already have some members on my space. So when I mentioned that you have on your cloud like management tool and assigned roles, this is what I meant. So you can assign who is going to administer the cloud, you can add more fellow teachers, and you can add your students. All right, so if I want to add students, I just click on member. I will change here the role because I want to teach students, and I am going to, I just make up some email. Student 1 or student 2 at student invite, or you can invite a bunch of students, okay? Or if you don't want to send this, you can click a link and share this code so they get on their emails this kind of code, and then they will get access to the platform. So here, well, I just say invite, but it doesn't exist, that one, but it is there. So when that student gets the email and the invitation, you will start see here all your students. And then, for example, if you finish a course and then you need to add more students, then or a teacher left or whatever, at any time you can select and delete. Okay, I'm not going to remove it, but you can add people and you can remove people. And also here on settings, you can see your settings. So when you create your cloud, you can name your space, type of school if you want, country name, who is the admin, and you can change this information whenever you want. And roles are permission is this, what the members of my space have access to. So you can see it here. For the web editor and for the IoT platform, everything is here. And here, if you click on features usage, you can see that according to your plan, what are you using? So all of the information is here. So again, you can easily check how is your plan going and the members that are using your space, your plan, what they can see. So everything is here. So I go back to home. All right. So I will take a quick look to the Q&A because I know that there are a lot of questions.
Rox, we have been trying to answer as much as we can.
I know there are a lot, right? So,
but if you like, I can also walk you through the questions, and
yes.
you can help us
So,
answer
the last thing I want to show is this quickly, and then I think that's it. Thank you, Hakan.
All right.
So the last thing for the school plan, this is the monthly investment for students. It's around $1.5, $1.6 per student. It's billed annually, but we wanted to show what is the monthly investment. So remember, you can your students on your space so they can get benefit from all the features of your plan. And you saw it's super easy. So one last thing, Hakan. How can you buy the student plan if you have a credit card and you can do it? Okay, so you go to the link. Don't worry, on the PDF document that I told you that I am going to share with you, it's going to be all this information. So if you already have a credit card, in 3 steps, you can buy the plan. So first you add your institution name, then you choose how many students you want to be member of this plan. Then you write your billing information, payment, the card, everything. And immediately when you say purchase, then you will see on your cloud that you have the school plan and you can start adding students to your plan. So it's super fast. Okay, first questions and then the poll. So if we can start checking some questions. Oh, there are a lot of questions. Just don't panic. If I cannot, or we cannot answer all the questions, when you register, my email is there. Please send me your question. And I always answer. If I have many questions, maybe I will take a bit, but I'm always answering all the questions. So don't get panic. We will try to answer as many as we can now. So
Shall I read them through?
Yes, yes. Let's go.
All right. So Miguel has a question about if he can use the cloud editor with a child account.
I think that's for we have. Yes, we do. We have a junior account, which is students under 14, I guess. It's like COPPA compliant, so we don't get any data from students. So when you when you create an Arduino account, it will ask you if you are an adult or you are a junior, not an adult, like a junior student, and then you can create an account for that. But it is there when you create Arduino accounts.
Mm-hmm.
I will take a look at it.
And Juan is asking if we're planning to have a circuit simulator in the cloud, I believe.
Not right now, but that's a great, a great thing to have. This is also what we do, these kind of webinars, because we want to learn from you what will be useful. So we can bring this to the development team to say, what about this? So not right now, but then it will be great to know that it will be useful. So it's good.
Peter was asking, and you also tried to answer it little
Yes.
presentation. Are we planning to localize the content into the local languages? And are we planning to cooperate it with the educators? Or are we planning to do it by ourselves?
Yeah, I think you mean like the cloud, right? Because everything is in English. So far, the only thing that we are localizing are kits, you know, the educational kits we have. But I don't.
I believe he's referring also to the tutorials, documentation.
Yeah, all of that.
All of that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have a localization expert. We can also ask and see what is the effort to do that. He said that if they have teachers willing to contribute, yeah, maybe we can discuss that. We have done that in the past for kids. So I think it's a nice thing to ask also to the localization team.
All right, note taken.
Cool.
And the next one is from Travis. Will there be the capacity to virtually design circuits and prototypes within the Arduino cloud?
Yeah, it's kind of similar, like the other question. So again, I think this is a very interesting feature. And yeah, again, we're going to bring all your ideas and feedback to the team so they can have it in mind, because probably they haven't thought about it, but I think it will be nice to ask if we can have in the future something like that. Yep.
Okay, the Charul, if I'm mispronouncing it, I'm very sorry. He's asking if we can use TinyML in Arduino Cloud.
You can use, I think it's H impulse, what you can use, and it's if you go to the cloud, this is a machine learning. So you click there and you will connect to the H impulse. This you need to authenticate, create your account, and this is what you have right now in the cloud. So.
All right. John is asking if anyone has the experience working with their IT stuff to get such systems working with the school's Wi-Fi. Is it difficult?
Oh, actually, I don't know about that, but it will be interesting to know.
Well, I mean, like, let's gather some feedback from the educators who are already using the cloud afterwards. So, John,
yeah, exactly.
we will get some information for you and then later on share it in our channels.
Yep.
So stay tuned.
Yes, please. So we have a lot of questions, but I just, guys, if we can pause a bit, because I want to, guys, to share with you a quick poll, if you can help us. So can you see the poll now? Yes?
Yes, we can see.
Could you please answer? This is a multiple choice poll. So just we want to see what the features of the IoT will be, you find more interesting? What would you like to implement with your students? So this helps us a lot. So let's see. Oh, I already see some answers, so this is awesome. So we have like Google Classroom integration, the web editor, of course, the IoT platform, that you can use it with Chromebooks too, and the templates that we talk about that makes it easier for you to start connecting devices, and lesson plans. So, okay, we have 53 out of 110, 55. Okay, well, I bit more half. So, okay. When I see that no one else is answering, then I just send the poll, but if everyone could please answer, it's awesome. All right, 64.
Cool. Lots of people.
Okay,
All right.
70, let's go. Almost just 38 people. Come on, guys. You can choose more than one, of course, so it's cool. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, just some few more seconds, and we have 75 out of 105. So, well, I think it's great. 77, woo! Just one more. All right. So, oof, I think we only have 5 more minutes. But again, well, some just keep answering the poll. Remember, tomorrow at this same time, you will get an email with the recording, the link to the recording, and a PDF with all the most important information. And again, please, if we couldn't answer the questions that you have, please feel free to send me an email. Again, you have my email there on the registration email that you got. Please feel free to ask anything. And again, I promise I always answer my emails, but if I have too many, then it will take me a bit of time, but I always answer. So please, any concern, question, feedback, feel free to send me whatever question you have, please. So I think we have 82, so I think it's fine. We have 77%. So thank you so much for answering this poll, super useful for all of us. So I'm going to end the poll. And contact us. Well, I also have Ivy here with me. She's our education sales rep in the US. But if you are on another country, we also have a sales rep in other countries. So we can put you together in contact. So anything you want to know about the plan, price and everything, please contact Ivy or me, and then I will send it to Ivy. So Ivy it's great. She knows a lot. So you can contact her too. Okay. So Ivy's there. Hello, Ivy.
Hello,
Cool.
Feel free to email me. I'm happy to answer your questions and concerns.
Yeah. And so that's what we wanted to show you today, the cloud. Very fast overview. I hope this was useful for you all. And again, please, sorry if we couldn't answer all the questions, but again, please, I cannot stress this enough. Any question you have, please share it, send it to us, and then we will try to, we will answer you, but just give us a bit of time. So it's been almost an hour. So after the webinar, we will check the people that attended live, and we will pick randomly three of you, and we will contact you to send you all the information so you can try the Arduino school plan and start playing with the cloud, okay? So we have to go. It's been 1 hour. So thank you so much again for your time. I know teachers are very busy. So we really appreciate that you gave us 1 hour of your time. And again, we hope that this was useful for you and hope to see you soon. We want to make more webinars like this to show you all of the things that we're working to make your lives easier. So thank you again. Hope to see you soon. And take care. See you on email. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Hakan. Thank you, Ivy.